And we are rolling on November 14th. This would be part 3 of the Calm 1 tapes for the day. We're going to hear Roberto Alatorre giving his PC speech, but we're actually regressing and going to hear his film speech. You're steepling, so don't do that.
Hope is a good thing. Maybe even the best thing. And no good thing ever dies. This is a quote by Andy Dufresne, the main character of a film called Shawshank Redemption. Today I'm going to speak of the movie Shawshank Redemption, a film that really moved me. It made me feel frustrated, inspired, and happy. Mark Salva from the Austin Chronicles says, at all times, a poignant, joyful, and terrifying, altogether, it's a brilliant movie altogether. I agree with this critic because I personally love this movie. It talks about great themes such as friendship and not losing hope, plus has an amazing plot twist that makes it overall an uplifting story. Now, I want to speak of the first way this film moved me. This movie first made me feel frustrated. In the movie, Andy Dufresne, the main character, gets accused of murdering his wife and his lover, and is labeled as a murderer. This made me feel frustrated because it reminded me of a time when I was labeled as an out-of-state student. I was born in San Diego and have lived there all my life. However, when I applied to UCLA as an independent student, they, for some reason, asked me to turn in additional information. Now, it wasn't, however, the information wasn't about for me. It was about my grandma. I had a proof of residency. Now, when I failed to do this to a certain extent because we had lost the house and we couldn't provide documents that showed that we had a house, they labeled me as an out-of-state student, and it made me feel very frustrated because I was unjustly going to be charged $29,000 a year to go to UCLA. Now, and basically undermining all the work that I'd done because now my dream school might be too out of reach. So this made me feel very frustrated. Now, this film also made me feel inspired. During the movie, Andy Dufresne really wants to start this library in the prison. However, the prison does not have the funds for it. However, instead of just bending his arms and being happy and being content with that answer, he decides he's going to start writing to the government to ask for funds. He writes a letter a week for 6 years until he finally gets approval from the government and gets some money to build his library. Now, this made me feel very inspired because right now, as a business major, 3rd year is the most important for internships. So I'm applying to all these internships. I'm writing multiple cover letters, taking so much time, tailoring my resumes, and when you try to get into these big firms, rejection is something you just can't avoid. And when I think of Andy Dufresne writing one letter every week for 6 years, it means I could do the same thing for cover letters, and I know eventually it's going to work out. So this is why this makes me feel very. This is why this film made me feel very inspired. Now, lastly, this film made me feel very happy. At the end of the film, after Andy Dufresne has been in prison for 19 years already of something that he did not do, and when it seems like he's about to give hope and commit suicide, this incredible plot twist happens where he actually escapes prison and then not frames, but lets authorities know of all the illegal activity that's been going on with the warrant. So basically, everybody gets what they deserve. Now, this made me very happy because, as I mentioned before, I was labeled as an out-of-state student. I was very depressed. I was very frustrated. However, instead of just giving up, I began looking for sources, and I actually found this petition called the AB 540, which if you graduate from a school in California and attended for 3 years, you're exempt from out-of-state tuition. So then this made me be able to get exempt from out-of-state tuition And then a week after I found this document, I actually also got a notification that I won my full ride to UCLA, a scholarship that was going to give me the full ride to UCLA. Now, this it made me very happy because, as I said, like, as Andy Dufresne, he was losing hope, so was I. However, in this, like, after everything, I didn't give up, and everything worked out. Now, and this is why this film made me feel happy. In summary, this film made me feel 3 ways. It made me feel frustrated because I was labeled as an out-of-state student. It made me feel inspired because it showed me that everything's gonna work out. It made me happy because at the end of the day, if you don't give up hope, things will work out. In conclusion, after this speech, I don't think that any person in this room should have a doubt that this film really moved me. Now, despite hardships in college or even in life, we have to remember to never give up hope. Because once hope is gone, everything that comes with it is also gone. Thank you.
Thank you. That was 5:25. Okay? Let me open the door so my TA can find it. Go ahead and open that door.
Okay.
Well, that was better. I wish that instead of looking off there and there, you would just uncross your arms, get in the habit of not being closed, just being open, you know. And I wish you would have made eye contact with me, and instead of looking here and here.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't judge your intensity of your eye contact.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So, because I was sitting here, you might as well give me some eye contact, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's a good speech. When you watch yourself tonight on YouTube, hi, come on in, have a seat.
What do you mean?
This is Armin. This is Roberto.
Armin. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So, if you want to go ahead and get started, the other one is there, and the 1 and 2 are on that one, and then there's 2 on this one, and then 1 more from COM 1 on this one. So there'll be 3 for COM 1 and 2 for 103.
Sounds good.
Okay. I left it open for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be right down.
All right.
So you're still swaying. So that's what the whole point of the wide stance and locking your legs are doing. I think that have you ever heard of the Chinese exercise thing called Tai Chi? You have?
Yeah, I mean, I know, kind of familiar with, is it kind of like meditation, but like with like, kind of
That's a meditation, but the point about it is that you're doing all kinds of things with your body while you're speaking that I don't think you've got much body awareness.
Mm-hmm.
You're going like this, you're going like this,
It's true.
So, Tai Chi is this real slow. If you ever see people in the park, they go. It develops a great mind-body awareness of what your body's doing. So, once again, I will start with my. You only get one chance to make a good positive impression, and you had a great quote, which I love, but you didn't let it sing. Let me say it for you. Hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of good things, and no good thing never dies. So, see, the thing that Stephen, the writer, what?
Is it Stephen King?
Yeah, Stephen King is using as a repetition there is the good. Hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of good things, and no good thing ever dies. See, so you should watch how you say it and try to eke some more meaning out of it. Hope. So give that a meaning. Give that a moment. So hope is a good thing. Maybe even the best of good things. And no good thing ever dies. See? And this is a quote by Andy Dufresne, the main character of the film Shawshank Redemption, and you could say by Stephen King gives it even more credibility because he's a well-respected writer, right?
Yeah. Have you seen the film?
Oh, about 20 times.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
Yeah. I was debating between that one or a quote. What is it? It's like comes down to one question, like get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah.
It's a hard choice.
There's a lot of good lines in that movie, but yeah, there's a lot of good scenes. The classical music.
Oh, scene. Yeah. That one's.
Oh, fuck. Anyway, so on your thesis, you have a really you have a difference in what you typed and what you said. You're steepling again. So get out of that habit.
So, what's the best way to stand?
Just let your hands be by your side. Yeah. And are you in the power stance now? Get your feet wider than your shoulders. Yeah, just be by your side. You said frustrated, inspired, and happy, and you want that to stand out when you speak. Frustrated, inspired, and happy. That's your your narrative. So you emphasize that with your voice more. You said really moved me. And then you went to your critic, Mark Savaloff, from the Austin Chronicle. Doesn't hurt to throw in the date, 94. And the word Poignant is pronounced poignant. Say it with me. Poignant.
Poignant. Poignant.
No, poignant.
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 Yunt. Like it rhymes with C-U-N-T. Yunt. Cunt. Yunt.
Am I not saying it right?
You're not saying yunt. That rhymes with cunt. Yunt. Poignant. Yeah, you said watch what you say.
Yeah, I said point. I couldn't pronounce the word.
You can say the word. So
point.
And when you have trouble with words, ask people that know how to pronounce the language to help you.
Yeah.
So you don't stumble and hurt your credibility. Okay? You agreed with Craig, and that was good. And what you didn't do, Roberto, is sell it to the audience, and that's what the significant statement is supposed to do, significant to the audience. If you review it carefully and look at what you wrote, I assume you have a copy on your computer or something, from a look at it, you'll see you said, you quote the critic, you say, I agree with this critic. This movie talks about the horror prison, development of friendship, and great plot twist that makes the movie an uplifting story. Doesn't say that they'll be interested in it.
Oh,
See? Doesn't say the audience will like it.
True. So something like that I'm sure everybody would enjoy.
Yeah, you.
That would be-
Everyone in this room will
Sure. Okay.
could relate to the many themes that writer Stephen King addresses in The Shawshank Redemption. Yeah. So you write here.
Mm-hmm.
The first way the film made me feel was angry.
I was watching your frustration.
But then you said, you meant this. Then you said frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
So keep it consistent with the thesis and keep it in the same order.
Mm-hmm.
And so I crossed that out and that sort of thing. The other thing is you have the good A, B, and C. You have the good Chicago style at the bottom. Have this be, you could have a little 1, a little 2, or just have a new paragraph that says, the reason this made me feel frustrated is so we get your feeling as an indent.
Okay.
And what we didn't get a lot of was you kind of went through the thing about them and them hassling you about your grandmother and losing the house and blah, blah, blah. I couldn't supply them with enough paper. Whatever we supplied them, they kept paying. No. And I was just getting more frustrated. Using the word, so we know you're very frustrated. You remember you want to end on the emotion you're felt sensing, remembering it. That's what felt sensing is. You're remembering how frustrated you were, and you then say, and that's why I felt frustrated. Now remember, what's a pivot? What did I say to do? What's a pivot?
Like when you say, and this is why this made me feel frustrated. Now I want to talk about how this made
But besides frustrated, I also felt inspired. Okay? And that makes your narrative, that's a great transition, it makes your narrative come alive. Your second way, inspired. Once again, stress it with your voice. Inspired. And a little bit long plot summary, and then that should have been a new paragraph. The reason I felt inspired was it reminded me of I'm writing letter after letter to try to find an internship, letter after letter, and I'm getting rejection after rejection and no response. Some letters don't even come back. As I'm writing them, I remember how persistent Andy Dufries was. And I'm inspired by his persistence. And I'm inspired. So despite that, see, I'm inspired by his persistence. And so that's why I felt inspired. But besides inspired, I also felt happy. You want to pivot again. And then you say they fled to Mexico, blah, blah, blah. Then you need a new paragraph for, you want to help yourself in your outline so it's easy to read and follow, because an outline that's got little bullet points and things are easier to remember.
Yeah. You just remember it.
So you stick them in indent and stick them out. They stick out for you. Yeah. So happy. Here you talked about AB 540 and getting a full ride scholarship at UCLA. I would have built up the story a little better and said, oh, wait a minute. Shit. Okay. I gotta make this quick. Okay. Got another appointment. I would have built up the story a little better and said, now, I told you in my last that I was really, I was frustrated at, frustrated at the runaround I was getting from UC and da, 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 da. But I found this and built up the story, and so I applied and I waited and waited, and sure enough, it came through. And what do you know? I got a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
And, oh my God! I got a full ride. Make it a climax. Yeah, everyone's going, yeah. So everyone just remember full ride. It just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, make it into a story.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And pay for the rest of my tuition, and that's why I felt happy. Okay. The summary was fine, and I liked the way you didn't just say 3 words, but you gave, you said angry here again, but you meant frustrated because of being wrongly accused of being an out-of-state resident. And so that was good, because that helps refresh the audience memory. Oh yeah, that's right. See? Conclusion: you didn't say the name of the movie in the conclusion. There should be no doubt in this room. You said the film really moved me. Shawshank Redemption really moved me. And then tie back, yeah. Mm-hmm. If you had your tieback was fine, but it could have been better if you knew what you were going for, which is never give a hope. Once it's gone, all good is gone as well, and you want to go back to this hope is good. And I would have gone back to the quote and saying hope is good, and then you can go into never give up hope, because one hope will go. But I would have started with hope is a good thing. Maybe I would have even maybe said the whole quote again and then gone into your thing. See, that would have been a great full tieback. See,
That makes sense.
because we don't really exactly the way you went so quickly over your intro. It's hard to even remember.
Yeah.
You were tying back. See,
That's true.
okay. So your canines. Walk around the room left, take your hands off the desk. Stand in a row. Mm-hmm. Have a good tie back and have a better power stance. How'd it go?
Compared to, because this was written after my first one.
Yeah.
After my first one, I paced it a lot. Like I kept walking around, and
Yeah.
I feel this one I did not do that, or the last one. So that was an improvement.
Yeah. You walk more purposefully.
Yeah. Like I walked for a purpose when I wanted to change like what I was talking about, direction of my speech.
Yeah.
Now, for tieback, better tieback. Last time I ran, and the first time I ran out of time, so I wasn't sure if to fit. I just tried to fit it in, so I didn't even say it. I said I was. So then I learned that just finish it even though you go above time. So then I felt that my tieback was decent.
Yeah.
Wasn't like you said, it wasn't the best. It could have been better.
Yeah.
But it was decent.
Yeah.
And then what was the third one?
The third one was walk around the room less, have a good tie back, and have better power stance.
No. I feel like power stance was good too, because usually I don't think I feel very comfortable speaking standing. Like I have.
You feel more comfortable pacing.
Yeah, as I walk, even though I could look at the audience, and as I pace, is more. I don't know why. It's just a matter of like I like walking, because I've spoken to like my high school before, and I just like walking. I feel like it just makes me like helps me sweat. I don't know. It maybe helps me remember sometimes. I can also like look at the ground and then remember and then continue speaking. But I feel that this is a good. It's a good practice, because I do need to learn how to just like learn how to stand and speak and not be moving around.
Remember the phrase stand and deliver.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
well. The other thing with the power stance is you start off well in the power stance, but then what you want to be sure to do is when you move to the right 3-step, come to the power stance and get back in it. Go to the left 5 steps, get in the power stance over there. They're kind of blocked by the chair, so I didn't really get a good
View of the person.
view of everything you were doing, but it was good enough, you know. So you got enough to see what you were doing.
Alright.
So our work is done.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Luck.